Welcome to my Week 14 NFL predictions. We're in the nitty-gritty right now. I think we're in the final quarter of games now. Last week, I went a very mediocre 9-7, all thanks to those first 5 games getting wrong. And that puts me at a 119-75 all-time record, tying me in third with like 4 other people in my Pick'em League. Travis is still in the lead, followed by my buddy Bryant. But with that being said, I looked through, and for the gameplay, I decided to go with the Bengals versus the Bills. There were a couple I could have went with. I almost went with the Colts, Jags, or the Cowboys, Lions, or even the Houston Texans versus the Chiefs. But I went, or Chicago, Green Bay. So there are some decent games this week. But I inevitably went with the Bills, Bengals. Now, the first game tonight, December 4th, my birthday. So hopefully I am 14 for 14 this week. Oh, I didn't even see that other match. Eagles-Rams could have been or Eagles-Chargers could be game of the week. But we have 4 teams on a bye. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now. Patriots, Giants, 49ers, and the Panthers. And first, we have the Cowboys taking on the Lions tonight. This game could go either way. We have the Dallas Cowboys winning last week against the Chiefs on Thanksgiving, 31-28. And we had the Lions losing to the Packers, 31-24, also on Thanksgiving. I got both those games wrong. But like I said, this could go either way. We got the Cowboys picking up their season so far. They could honestly take the East. I don't see it happening, but some people do. The Lions, they're looking to reclaim the North. They are in third, I believe, now, with a very low chance to make a very mediocre, mid chance to make the playoffs. I think inevitably the Lions will pick up a win. I hope, because I don't want the Cowboys to make it. Sorry, Cowboys fans. And I'm a Jared Goff fan. So I do hope the Lions can pick up their season, and I think it's going to continue getting started tonight. So Lions win. It's going to be a banger, though. It's going to be an offensive shootout, I'd say. A big 38-32 victory for the Lions. All right, next up, we got Sunday, December 7th. The Seahawks taking on the Falcons. Once again, I'm going to say it. The Seahawks are frauds. They are not. They are going to be one and done in the playoffs. I'm calling it. That is my hot take. They've only beaten terrible teams. And the Chargers, I think. No, they didn't play the Chargers. They had one team that they beat that could be the Jags. The Jags are like the only good team that they beat. Maybe the Chargers. I don't know if they faced Chargers. I don't remember. But the Seahawks did pick up a win against non-playoff team, the Vikings, 26-0. And the Falcons lost to the Jets, 27-24. So that just shows how easy the Seahawks schedule is. I'm sorry, I gotta hate. But I still think the Seahawks are going to continue their winning ways with probably, honestly, another blowout. I think it'll be a 31-10 victory for the Seahawks. Next up, we got, like I said, possible game of the week with Joe Burrow being back. The Bengals taking on the Bills. Now, I think the Bengals are a sleeper right now. I think that they could run the table and potentially make it to the playoffs, beating out the rest of the AFC North. That is a big if. There is a lot of variables. But the Bengals did beat the Ravens 32-14 last week, and the Bills defeated the Steelers 26-7. So like I said, this is going to be a big game. I think if the Bengals win this one, they are in the playoffs, honestly. And if the Bills win, I mean, they're probably going to make the playoffs anyway. However, I do have the Bills winning this. They are a more favorable choice in the matter. And I think, honestly, I'm going to go with what the prediction... Actually, no, I won't go with what the prediction said. I mean, that's spoilers. The prediction, the game that I simulated on Madden. But I do think the Bills will win. I think it'll be a 35-32 victory. Another high-scoring game. Next up, we got the Titans taking on the Browns. The Titans lost again, shocking, to the Jaguars 25-3, and the Browns lost to the 49ers 26-8. Shedeur Sanders is looking better, I believe. I think that's the gist, the general gist. But I don't think neither of these teams are good. Like, we know that. The Titans are still just killing Cam Ward. He might not last too much longer. I don't think their head coach is going to last too much longer if he hasn't already been fired. I'm out of the loop right now. No, I don't think he's been fired. The Browns, they're still looking to kind of build up their season. They do have a chance if the rest of the AFC North continues to fall off and they end up somehow picking up the scraps. I don't think they're eliminated from playoff contention quite yet. But I did hear something about old Deshaun Cosby possibly coming back. Either way, I think the Browns win this one pretty handily, 24-6. All right, next we got the Washington Commanders taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Commanders had a very close game against the Broncos, losing 27-26 in overtime. And the Vikings, like I said, got blown out 26-0 to the Seahawks. I'm seeing a lot of people think that the Vikings are going to win this. I don't know if J.J. McCarthy is going to be back. I don't think so, actually. I think he's on IR now. I don't know. But I don't see the Vikings winning very many, if any, more games. Maybe they upset the Packers once or the Lions once again. But I do see the Commanders picking up a win this week. It'll probably be relatively low. So I think it'll be 21-14. I think it'll be somewhat close. Next up, we got the Dolphins taking on the Jets. The Dolphins continued to pick up some wins. They beat the Saints last week, 21-17, and the Jets picked up a win, 27-24, against the Falcons. So these are both teams trying to build it up, trying to get their seasons back on track. I don't think either team's really going to make the playoffs. They're both this is kind of a nothing game right now. This could go either way. It's a divisional game, so either team could pick up a win. I think the Dolphins will win in the end. It will be close. I think it'll be a 28-24 victory. Next, we got the Saints taking on the Buccaneers. The Saints tried, but they inevitably lost 21-17 to the Dolphins. And the Buccaneers picked up a close win against the Cardinals, 20-17. As much as I'd like them to lose, I don't think the Buccaneers are going to lose too many more games. I think they're going to keep up their winning ways. I'm hoping in the end that they do lose both games with the Panthers at the end. And I do hope they lose this one, but I don't see it. They're still playing out of their ass or out of their mind. So I think the Buccaneers will win 31-20. The Colts taking on the Jaguars. I heard Brandon Perna say this on the podcast. Whoever wins this game will probably win the AFC South. I kind of agree with that. Both of these teams are looking to pick up a dub and continue their winning ways. They're first and second in the AFC North or South. In the end, I do see the Jaguars pulling this one out. So I think the Jaguars will pull out a victory. Sorry. There's going to be a bit of a cut there. I had a fiance come in telling me something. I had to mute my mic, and I forgot where I left off. I do see the Jaguars winning this week. Probably going to be close. And once again, just like the Seahawks, I think the Colts are frauds as well. All right? I'm just going to say it. Jaguars win 28-20. The Steelers taking on the Ravens, another divisional game. This one is a major 50-50. Lamar. Oh, sorry. By the way, the Jaguars won 25-3. The Colts lost 20-16. The Steelers lost 26-7, and the Ravens lost 32-14. That's weird. The Steelers faced the Bills, and the Ravens faced the Bengals, and now these teams are both they're facing each other, and the Bengals and the Bills are facing each other. Sorry, went on a little bit of a rant. This is a 50-50 game. I think Lamar has been playing like shit. He's really dropped off recently. I don't know what to think here. Both of these teams are very mediocre. Like I've said, I think the Bengals can take the North right now. But this game's a tough one to decide. I think I will go with the Steelers stealing the win, but it will be close. I'll say Steelers win 17-16. Next, we got the Broncos taking on the Raiders. Broncos they once again picked up a win in overtime, 27-26 versus the Commanders, and the Raiders lost 31-14 versus the Chargers. This is probably going to be a blowout. The Raiders are a nothing team. They are bottom of the barrel. The Broncos are 12-2, 11-2. I don't remember what their record would be. Sorry. Let me look. They are 10-2. So I was wrong on both occasions. But I think the Broncos are going to continue winning for now. It will be a much better game than the rest of their games have been. I think it's going to be a 21-7 victory for the Broncos. 2 picks for Bo Nix, though. 4 for Gino. The Bears taking on the Green Bay Packers. Bears picked up a big win against the Eagles last week. 24-15, and the Packers picked up a 31-24 victory versus the Lions, putting them in second in the NFC North, and the Bears in first in the entire NFC. This is going to be a big game. This is going to be a major proving. Well, I think the Bears are already a proving ground. Will be another proving point for the Bears. If they win this, they will probably win the NFC North. But like I said, this is a 50-50 toss-up. In the end, I think the Packers will squeak this one out. I think overall they are the better team on paper. But I think the coaching for the Bears might be better. So, like I said, this is 50-50. I think the Packers squeak this one out in a 24-22 win. The Bears are... Actually, you know what? It's going to be 25-24. The Bears are going to go for 2 or something and lose. Fucking calling it. Next, we got the Rams taking on the Cardinals. The Rams lost to the Carolina Panthers last week, 31-28. And the Cardinals lost to the Buccaneers, 20-17. The Rams are still a top team in the NFC. This just proves that anything can happen in the NFL. But the Rams did get outplayed last week. I don't think that's going to happen this week. I think they're going to come back with a vengeance and defeat the Cardinals 31-20. All right, last game on Sunday night. We have the Texans taking on the Chiefs. The Texans picked up a big win against the Colts, 20-16. I think that moves them to 7-5. And the Chiefs lost a heartbreaker to the Cowboys, 31-28, putting them, I think, at 6-6. Suppose I'll check. Yes, 6-6, the third in the AFC West. But I think this is going to be a tough game for both teams. The Texans have the best defense in the NFL. And the Chiefs, they've just been hit or miss all season. So I think in the end, the Texans will eke out a close one because they gotta finally defeat the Chiefs. The Chiefs have owned the Texans for the past 6 years or something. I don't know. But in the end, I do think the Texans will eke out a close victory. 21-17. And finally, on Monday night, we have the Eagles taking on the Chargers. The Eagles lost to the Bears 24-15. Why did I kind of sound like a robot there? And the Chargers defeated the Raiders 31-14. This is a game that could go either way, in my opinion. Both these teams are among the best, but they've fallen off slowly. And I think this will be close. Man, I'm starting to come off as like a robot when I talk sometimes. The Eagles, they do have a pretty good defense. And it's going to be tough for the Chargers to defend Joe Burrow with their entire O-line being dead and stuff. So in the end, I do think the Eagles will squeak out a very close game. Actually, no, I think they might dominate to bring it back. I think it'll be 28-14. Philadelphia wins. And that is about it. We got the Lions, Seahawks, Bills, Browns, Commanders, Dolphins, Buccaneers, Jaguars, Steelers, Broncos, Packers, Rams, Texans, and the Eagles winning. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys next week for Week 15. Peace.